They go play action with Ryan. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. Well, he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
I know I'm one of those that overuses certain terms, and this one, explosive, is what we use for a lot of receivers, but that's Calvin Ridley. Nice catch there, and not only is he explosive, he's been very productive. Since being drafted in 2018, one of the top touchdown rates in the league as a wide receiver.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. That's another. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
You had to figure they'd try and get the ball to Julio early, and they did it right there. And it doesn't take a degree from MIT to know that, so you had to figure, what's up with the defense? You should know that that's coming right away.
He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it's a second down. From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. To throw again is Ryan. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
When you run a screen pass really well, you gotta like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan able to connect with his top man, Julio Jones. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
For the point after.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fielded in the end zone. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Tariq Cohen. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Now Trubisky. Looks this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
A gain of 19.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. First carry now for David Montgomery. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Robinson's got it. And tackle's made at the Falcons' 13-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Nice gain there by the second-year runner out of Iowa State, David Montgomery, who often finishes his runs moving forward and knocking defenders back. He finished tied with Josh Jacobs for the most carries by a rookie last year. But what the Bears need from him, improve on his 3.7 yards per attempt. If he gets that up into the fours, look out. He can control the game with his running.
Second and goal.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. Here's Trubisky. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears.
Complete.
Ted Ginn there to make the grab. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense. With two guys going up for the football, which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt, the will as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with it?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
And all this is taking it one-handed. What a catch. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Falcons.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the play?
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Roquan Smith gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
5-yard line.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down.
And he'll take it into the... Matt Ryan, his second touchdown pass of this opening quarter. And the Falcons have taken the lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Young Wei Koo to kick off for Atlanta.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken in the end zone. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Chicago's offense working their way back out here. And, Charles, this is a team that you saw in Week 2 in that very thin win over the New York Giants, 17-13. So both wins this year have been by a slim margin. But here's the bottom line. The Chicago Bears are 2-0. So what have you seen from this team?
I really felt like the first win at Detroit felt better to them, even though, as you noted, it was by a slim margin because of the comeback. Came from 23 to 6 down. In this game against the Giants, they were up 17-0. The Giants lose their best player in Saquon Barkley, one of their top players in Sterling Shepard on offense, and Chicago really doesn't capitalize. They end up holding on and winning 17-13, but I do still like this Bears defense. I think any team that's got to try and block that front, that's a problem. And in pass situations, Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, and now they can trot out Robert Quinn. Good luck. There is optimism for this team, but they'll need their quarterback to play well and the defense to carry them a little bit. It'll be a big one for them next week at Atlanta. Remember, the Falcons are 0-2 and coming off a really depressing loss at Dallas.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. That's complete to Robinson. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. This up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Matt Ryan and the Falcons getting ready to go again here on offense. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep, because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing again, Ryan. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. Defensively, they're going to have to do something about him in a hurry, because that last catch puts him over the 100-yard mark. We haven't even hit the 2nd quarter yet.
And you did say they'd have to do it in a hurry. It has to be right now, because as his confidence grows, it'll actually overwhelm the defense. No matter what they do, he'll feel like they can't stop him.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score.
Falcons 14, Bears 7.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. Past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
1st and 10.
So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Here's Gurley now, out of the gun. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
And there's a run there by Todd Gurley. We all know he's looking to rebound from the least productive season of his career. And I think Atlanta presents him a great opportunity to do just that. They'll use him really well running it, as well as catching it out of the back.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way that they've moved the football. Full command of their playbook, full command of the way they wanted to attack.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Takes this about 5 yards deep, and Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
No, I haven't told my offense right here. The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us with some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now left side, a completion motion to his tight end. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Ball carrier. He's taken down at the 17-yard line. A gain of 2.
From the 17, Trubisky. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Trubisky sacked.
Someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. On third down, Trubisky. The third down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on third down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected fourth down here.
This is up and good from advantage now back down to 11.
21. Bears 10.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Ryan and the Falcons now come up first and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Off of play action, he'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, let's go back to the start of the season talk, Charles. We talked about some 2-0 and 0-2 teams. You mentioned Arizona, maybe a good surprise. Houston, a bad surprise. Any other teams a surprise at this point to you?
Well, I think that I would look at the Los Angeles Rams right out of the gate. At home against Dallas, opening their new stadium. Many thought Dallas would go out west and beat them. That didn't happen. And then how about the Rams going on the road this week and beating Philadelphia, and decisively? This looks like a Rams team that finished 9-7 last year. It has designs on challenging for the division title. And one other team I would throw in there is a little bit of a surprise, just by how it's gone down. How about Atlanta? I know it's tough against Seattle, tough against Dallas. Seattle was at home, but they got jumped on by Seattle. And in the Dallas game, they just gave away. That's a team that should be at worst 1-1 right now. Now looking at 0-2 and have a lot of questions.
The 45 and down at the 46.
Roquan Smith, the Bears' leading tackler last season, makes the stop.
Brings up
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Ryan. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards, a first down. And with that completion. He's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 38. They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
And there's a catch by Todd Gurley, and that has to remind us that's exactly what we've seen in him throughout his career when he's at his best. He can run it. He can catch it. He led the league in total yards from scrimmage in 2017 with nearly 3,000. Todd Gurley, when he's on point, is quite a weapon for the Atlanta Falcons.
Brought down at the
tackle made there by Bilal Nichols.
To pick up a 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there and a first down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
And inches.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Todd Gurley with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Falcons push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
His kick.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fielded in the end zone. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
At their own 25.
Mitchell Trubisky and the Bears set to begin their next drive. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. Possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And now let's discuss Julio Jones, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. number of catches, but he's shredding defense. Is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Getting a hand in there and knocking it away, Eddie Jackson.
Well, CD, unfortunately some somber news across the league in Week 2 coming from New England Patriots running back James White because his parents were in a car crash and his father Tyrone, captain of the Miami-Dade Police Department, passed away in that.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. That sack by Khalil Mack.
And there's a familiar sight, Khalil Mack putting a quarterback down in the backfield for another sack. I know he only had 8.5 sacks in 2019, so a lot of people wrote that off as, hey, what's going on with Khalil Mack? You do realize he's getting doubled and tripled on just about every snap, but that was the first time since his rookie year of 2014 that he finished the season with less than 10 sacks.
On 4th down, the Falcons trot out the rookie punter from Syracuse, Sterling Hoffrichter.
Back deep, Tariq Cohen. So we're at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. To an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. It was Todd Gurley who had himself a very nice first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Younghoe Koo to kick off for Atlanta.
The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. Taken in the end zone, and Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
He's got him in. Complete. The 20. 10. Touchdown. Chicago.
Trubisky's pass.
Ted Ginn. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bears cut into that lead. That's a score you felt to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now.
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
Now Ryan on 1st down. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
I really don't think that Julio Jones could be happier right now. Plenty of catch opportunities in this game. He's converted them, and his team's winning.
And Matt Ryan's happy, too, to have Julio Jones on the other side of these.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we talk about breaking teams in. These two, they can break a team down through the air.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Now a handoff for Gurley. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Gurley, the ball carrier.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1.
Brought down.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
I don't think Gurley got there. Looks like the defense held him back. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They're running with Gurley. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. A drive like that, so you really give yourself an advantage.
Fielded in the end zone, and Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
5-yard line.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up. And that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Well, the drive starts with a completion left side. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Quick slant as the throw's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Complete to Allen Robinson. A gain of 14. First down.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. The connection made. It's Graham. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up
2nd and 9 from the 44.
at the 44-yard line.
Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
9, Tariq Cohen, the ball.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play,
It's on the ground, and the Falcons grab it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But
Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
in order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go.
Younghoe Koo to kick off for him.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken in the end zone. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
Their own 25-yard.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you,
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
you better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
A gain of 20.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9, Trubisky, and Graham's got it, complete. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Well, I haven't met an NFL player yet that doesn't use criticism as an edge, and Jimmy Graham has heard that a number of people think he's near the end of his career. He didn't put up the numbers he should have put up in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to put a huge chip on his shoulder. Nice catch there, and he wants to show flashes of that form that he exhibited early in his career with New Orleans and Seattle.
Sliding out of the pocket, he'll run it. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. With a big catch. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Allen Robinson, 30 yards. And the Bears get a bit closer. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he gets it to the 30-yard line, but the football's not going to stay there. There's a penalty marker down.
Receiving team.
Scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed.
Caught by Jones. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41.
Taken down.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 runs in a row for him.
3rd and 8.
On 3rd down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 down at the 31. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The first down run with Gurley, good for only about 3. It's 2nd down now. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Bears' 27-yard line.
Another carry now for Gurley. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan able to connect with his top man, Julio Jones. And the Falcons push further out in front. Throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Fielded in the end zone. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
at their own.
The Chicago offense set to get started. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, he'll throw.
Again has it complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. And now he'll tuck it and run. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Across midfield to the 49-yard line. It's a pickup of 6.
To throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky, he's going to take off with it. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
1st down, Chicago.
On 1st down, Trubisky stepping up. He'll try and run. And he's got room. Opted to run for it. The decision, a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Man, defensively, they had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
This into the hands of Miller. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he completes it to Cohen. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. And 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
And it's 3rd down.
Now Trubisky to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Darnell Mooney there to make the grab. And the Bears cut into that lead.
The extra point.
And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver.
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
First down, Ryan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Ryan.
Going right back to Jones. This time the connection made.
Touchdown, Falcons. Matt Ryan now with 5 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons the sack. Down he goes.
Mitchell Trubisky.
Grady Jarrett picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively.
And he's taken down. Back in his own 7. Grady Jarrett able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Now Trubisky, and this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. Now the first carry for Brian Hill. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Hill. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken in the end zone, and Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. He'll find Miller. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And he's going to keep it here. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
First down, and it's Hill again. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6.
They'll run it out of the gun with Hill. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.